Hello everyone, welcome to video number 3 of my Let's Play Yuna Only Challenge. I decided to start here because I wanted to do this as a, because up until this point there is no single character only challenge content, so I'm starting here. I'm going to do this video as if it was a Rikku only challenge, and so in the meantime what I do want to discuss is the Let's Plays, not the Let's Plays, but the walkthroughs and how difficult each character is, what makes them difficult, what makes them easier. So I'm going to start off with the Yuna only no summons challenge, the one that I am running here. And the reason I wanted to start with this one is because I consider it to be the hardest challenge. The advantages of this one is that she has self-heals and she has Protect, Shell, Elemental buffs, Holy. She gets a lot of self-buffing abilities, so that's really good for her. The disadvantage is that she has almost no attack power, which you will see once we get to Kilika and start using her even on the island to save. So she also has pretty poor health and defenses and no usable overdrive. Of course, since it's a no summons challenge, her overdrive is useless other than those few fights where she is, of course, required to summon. So I put her difficulty level as a 10 out of 10 difficulty. And as you can see here, I picked up Rikku, so I'm going to use Rikku only. Tidus will be killing himself here. I put her as a 10 out of 10 difficulty because she is so... she has no attack power. It is just very, very difficult to do a Yuna only challenge because of that factor. The next one I wanted to discuss is an Auron only challenge. The reason this is difficult, well, let's start off with the advantages, is that he kills almost everything short of a boss in about one hit. There aren't very many things that can stand up to Auron's sword and survive. So, obviously he has a lot of offensive power. He also can break your strength, magic, armor, and magic defense using his skills that he has. The disadvantages for Auron, though, is that he is probably one of the slowest characters in the game. I don't know if he is the slowest, but he's not a very agile character. So, very, very slow. He has very little accuracy, has a lot of trouble hitting certain mobs, especially those flyers that Wakka normally takes care of. And so, problem there. He's also mana starved when needed. You don't use his mana very often, but he does have problems with that. I put Auron as a 7 out of 10 difficulty rating, and as you can see here, I just finished this battle using Rikku only and not using Tidus. So, continuing on, Tidus only challenge, I have that as the next most difficulty. The advantage is that he is pretty good all around. He has, of course, haste and slow buffs that he can cast on himself or enemies. He has quick hit, which is just silly once you get there.
That was close.
And the Blitz Ace Overdrive, assuming you're not doing a no overdrives challenge, is quite good. It can do quite a few hits. And disadvantages for him, though, is armored opponents. He has a fair bit of difficulty with those. He has difficulty with flans, and his strength stat is mediocre at best, as is his hit stat, which, of course, is Wakka's specialty. I have Tidus as a 5 out of 10 difficulty for those reasons. And moving on, Wakka only. This is the one challenge I really haven't done other than Auron. Wakka's advantage is that he has near flawless accuracy. He can hit almost anything in the game almost every time, if not every time. He has very balanced stat growth across the board, and he has status afflictions which help a lot, like that a silencing attack. He has a dark attack. He has a lot of things that can really help if you can keep his mana up. And he has the attack reels if you're allowing yourself to play Blitzball. So the disadvantages for Wakka, though, he is also a mana-starved character. Has a lot of difficulty with that mana, of course, assuming that you don't go into anyone else's grids. And he also does struggle versus some opponents, kind of similar to Tidus. Those armored opponents really make it difficult for him. Lulu only. Lulu is probably my second favorite single character only challenge. She has perfect accuracy because she uses magic for her offense and her damaging and stuff like that. And magic never misses. It just is one of those benefits of a magic user. She kills almost everything, kind of similar to Orange. She kills many things in one shot. Again, it's because of her magic, and she can basically take advantage of the weaknesses of whatever you're fighting magically. And she does have the best evasion stat of any character in the game, so it's kind of convenient when you have those enemies that are trying to attack you physically, and you're like, yoink, dodge. Kind of helps out a lot. Disadvantages for Lulu, she does have the worst health stat in the game. She starts off with something like 180, and it's just terrible, and so... Okay, now I'm going to interrupt myself right here. This guy I just talked to, he gave me 3 potions.
Oh, almost forgot.
And then while this... Actually, I'm going to come back to that. But yes, so Lulu, continuing on, she has the worst health in the game, as I mentioned. She has nearly the worst agility stat in the game, kind of like Auron. She doesn't take very many turns, and so she has trouble with other people, other characters killing her, so that's very difficult for her as well. And she does take a lot of damage, mainly because of that low agility stat, low number of turns that she gets to take. I do have Lulu as a 3 out of 10 difficulty, a little bit easier than some of these others because of that perfect accuracy with her magic, so I think she's a fair bit easier. The next character, Kimahri. Advantages for Kimahri is he is not limited to his own sphere grid. His sphere grid is so small and has so few nodes that you really are not allowed even to do a single character only, own sphere grid only challenge with him. You would just not even have the stat growth that you would need to even get to the end of the game. So he is not limited to his own sphere grid. It's very overpowered. He also gets the Stone Breath overdrive. He gets Aqua Breath, Fire Breath. He gets quite a few of really good overdrives if you build him properly. Disadvantages to Kimahri. Well, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of disadvantages to Kimahri. He's just really good. Okay, and I do have Kimahri rated as a 2 out of 10 difficulty. He is not very difficult because he's not limited to his own sphere grid. He can go into other people's as well. And that just, you know, just that single fact makes him so powerful. It's crazy compared to anyone else's own sphere grid only challenges. So, yes, I have Kimahri at a 2 out of 10. So there's one character left, which I will talk about momentarily. But first, I need to make a note here that we're actually in the water. If you've played the game a lot and gone through any guides, you know about this already, but there is a trick here to get an infinite, well, up to 99 potions right here, and the way you do that is you want to go to this screen right here, right when the screen changes. As soon as you do that, turn around, come back, and go up to the ship, which you can hit square as soon as you come to this screen and go up to the ship. And talk to the guy right over here. This guy here, he will give you 3 potions. He will do that repeatedly as long as you go to that screen and come back. So, and that screen again is the one right after this, right when it changes the screen here. So you can do that as many times as you want. I'm going to finish off the movie just doing that real quick. And the reason this is important is because with almost everyone, except for basically Yuna, you need potions and high potions and all that good stuff to keep yourself alive as you're going through the game. And so you can't just rely on Yuna's heal, other than something I'm going to talk about later. So while I continue this, let me go through the last character, which is the Rikku only challenge, which is absolutely fun. If you've ever played Rikku a lot, you know she is based completely around items, and the advantages for Rikku is she's got items coming out her ears. You use the items, you mix the items together with your overdrive, you kill everything with items. It's a whole lot of fun. The disadvantages for Rikku, oh no, I'm out of items. Aw, what a shame. She also does have poor stat growth when you first get a hold of her on the moon flow. Basically, from the moon flow through the Thunder Plains. Her stat growth comes very quickly, but while you're there, you know, right when you first get her, it is pretty difficult with her just for that one reason, is that she starts off with such low stats compared to the other characters. I do, however, put Rikku as a 1 out of 10. I put her as the easiest character in the game to do a single character only challenge, excuse my hiccups. And so it's a lot of fun to go with her. It's just
We'll
hilarious
go
how
as
the
soon as
items
you're
work
ready.
together. Anyway, again, she's a 1 out of 10 difficulty. Probably the easiest, but it's also the most unconventional. So, anyway, that's where I'm going to leave off this right here. And for the next time, I'm going to talk about a no sphere grid, no summons, no customization, no overdrive, no something else, no, oh yes, no escaping, no encounters, no blitzball challenge that you can play in the game. It is not a single character only, but it is all of those things. So that's what you have to look forward to the next time, and we will go through the well, go through the ruins underneath us, and that's where we're going to be at. So this is the end of the video for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, come back and watch the next one.